Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Jedd Fisch, the Washington Huskies, land another one in the transfer portal as former Arizona offensive lineman Michael Watkins following Jedd Fisch to the Washington Huskies. And you talk about a diamond in the rough in that 2024 class. That's exactly what Michael Watkins is. Now, was unfamiliar with Michael Watkins until I saw the news that he committed to Washington. Took a look at the film. We'll dig into it. This is a guy that has a ton of power in his hands, is an absolute road grader in the run game, but also flashes phenomenal athleticism pulling around to the play side. You'll see him line up as an H-back at times. This is another really nice get by Jedd Fisch, and the Washington Huskies want to turn on the film of Michael Watkins, talk a little bit about what he brings to the table to this Washington Huskies offense before we do. And as always, just want to say thank you to you guys and a massive shout out to the Washington Husky fans. We promised you guys we would keep you as updated as possible with what Jedd Fisch and the Washington Huskies are doing on the recruiting trail. And we're here breaking down Michael Watkins. Can't thank you guys enough for all the support. If y'all do enjoy the content and you enjoy the updates, consider subscribing to the channel. And without further ado, let's get into this one now. Michael Watkins essentially coming in as a true freshman, right? Signed and enrolled with Arizona in that 2024 class. Jedd Fisch takes a job at Washington. Michael Watkins going to follow him to this Washington Huskies program. Now, Michael Watkins, an Arizona native, you turn on the film of Michael Watkins and you see exactly why Jedd Fisch wanted Michael Watkins to follow him to Washington. This is a guy that you talk about road grader, you talk about Big Ten caliber offensive lineman. That's really what Michael Watkins is. He has that prototypical offensive guard frame, right? 6'3", 290 plus pounds. The thing that stands out to me the most on the film is he carries that weight extremely well, right? It's not so rare to see guys with that size already, seniors in high school. What is rare is guys that have the athleticism that Michael Watkins does. Now, you turn on the film, what you see is just really easy power from Michael Watkins. Again, gets out of the stance extremely well, lined up at that right guard spot. You're going to see him right now work to the second level, and this is textbook, right? Hands inside, takes on that linebacker, and just puts him into the parking lot. And that's exactly what you want to see, physically imposing. This is a guy that's nasty. He's powerful. These are the kind of plays that stood out to me on the film. You're going to see Michael Watkins pull around to that play side, gets out of his stance extremely well, and you see him at the point of attack. He is so strong. He's got such powerful hands. This is a guy that you can use in a variety of different ways. You take a look at this rep right here, lined up as an H-back. You're going to pull him around, and if I'm the offensive coordinator of this offense, I'm just pulling around Michael Watkins and saying, hey, ball carrier, go follow Michael Watkins. He's going to pave a way. Again, you see the athleticism. This is 290 pounds, and he's getting around to that play side, absolutely putting defenders in the dirt. And look at him. He's looking for more work downfield. You see him move extremely well for that size. That's what stands out to me the most. I think one of the things that you probably want to see him clean up, and again, no prospect is perfect, plays a little bit out of control at times. But when I'm looking at my offensive line prospects, I'd rather teach them to rein it in than vice versa and try to get them to play aggressive. Michael Watkins, an extremely powerful, extremely nasty offensive lineman. And Jedd Fisch, I think, knows the recipe, right? He's been around the sport of football long enough to know, one, football is a line of scrimmage game. And more importantly, going to the Big Ten, you have to be able to control the line of scrimmage. And that's exactly what Michael Watkins brings to the table. Again, pulling around, putting guys in the dirt. You see that consistently on the film. This is a violent, nasty player, again, at that H-back spot. This guy doesn't even want a piece of him. Don't really blame him. Busts off another big run. Michael Watkins, phenomenal athlete, and really big fan of what the Washington Huskies are doing in the transfer portal, grabbing a lot of quality players from Arizona. Now, I want to talk about one other guy that I think the Washington Huskies will be targeting over the next couple of weeks and probably already in the works here, and that is cornerback Tacario Davis, who largely was one of the best cornerbacks in the Pac-12 in that 2023 season. Got a chance to watch a little of the film of him at Arizona the other day. 54 targets, only gave up 23 catches, a 43% completion percentage when targeted. If you guys have listened to me long enough, you know what I like in my cornerbacks. I like the length. I like the physicality. And that's exactly what Takario Davis brings to the table. 6'4", 200 pounds, gets his hands on everything. This is a guy that had 15 forced incompletions last year, had an interception, really emerged going into year 2 as one of the best cornerbacks in the Pac-12, and I think is a top target for Jedd Fisch in this Washington program in the transfer portal. And what I think you're going to see for the next couple of weeks is Jedd Fisch going through spring practice with the roster that they have right now, kind of taking a checklist approach to, hey, what do I have on this roster? What do I need to improve on? And I think you're going to see Jedd Fisch in this Washington Huskies program get really aggressive in the transfer portal when it opens up in spring. They didn't really get that opportunity because of how late Kalen DeBoer left for Alabama. I think the second go around in the transfer portal, you're going to see this Washington Huskies program get really aggressive, not only from players at Arizona, but players from across the country. And I think what's exciting is you just have this Washington Huskies team play for a national championship, going to the Big Ten. This is a very, very intriguing program to go play for. Really excited to see what Jedd Fisch can do on the recruiting trail in the transfer portal. And as always, we'll continue to keep you guys updated late. What is it? We got 9:34 Eastern time. Love talking Washington. Whenever I get the chance, I'm going to be talking Washington Huskies football. Appreciate you guys rocking with the fellas. Again, if y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel, and we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.